Welcome, Franklin families, to Back to School Night Virtual Edition. My name is Nick McCarthy, and in this video, we're going to walk through Canvas for Health 1. So hopefully your student is in my Health 1 class. Before we get started, I feel that it's important to mention that health is a required class for graduation. And the typical model at Franklin High School is that students will take Health 1 as freshmen and then Health 2 again as juniors. Again, I have lots of students who are not freshmen in this class. However, that is the typical Franklin model. And the idea is that we can talk to students about their health multiple times throughout their high school career. That is our goal. Now, as we look and start here in Canvas, this should be the first screen that you or your student will see as they enter into this class. I'm going to talk about first the buttons and the links here on the home page of our health class in Canvas, and we can see those down here at the bottom. The first one about your teacher. This will tell you a little bit about me and my background if you're interested. This second link here to the class meeting. Twice a week, we have synchronous or live meetings, and you can always get to that link here on the home page where it says class meeting. And then this one over here, anytime you have a question, comment, concern, send me a message. I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Inside of this class, we will be going over 4 different units or 4 different topics. I'm going to talk about what those are in just a moment. And below those, here is a link for the Franklin High School virtual hallway for administrative and staff and support staff help. This is a link for your student if they need to talk to their counselor, talk to Step Up, report something to administration, or any of those other supportive help. Before we move on, I'll also notice that over on the right-hand side, there is a to-do list. This is all the assignments that your students need to complete. And below that, you will also see sometimes it'll say coming up. So the assignments that might be coming in later in the week. As I mentioned earlier, twice a week we have synchronous live sessions. That means that 3 days a week they are asynchronous learning days. And on those days, the very first thing your students should do when they come into class is check the announcements. I will post an announcement about the expectation and the assignments for asynchronous learning days here in the announcements tab. Also, every day that your student enters this classroom, they should check their grades as well to make sure that they are up to date and they know what their grades are. So that link is right here. The most used link on Canvas is the modules link because this will take you to all of the content of the class. So we're going to click that and see what comes up. The first module that you and your student will see as they enter into the modules tab of Canvas is asynchronous learning. So those 3 days a week when we're having asynchronous learning days, you can click here and read through the expectations so that those are clearly laid out for you and your student. And every single asynchronous learning day, they will have an attendance assignment. This assignment is for 0 credit, no points. But by completing this very short and simple assignment every single day, it ensures that your student will be marked present in health during those asynchronous learning days. This week, we just finished the Welcome and Introduction unit. This is how we build relationships and community within this digital environment, which is very difficult to do. And as you can see, students talk about themselves, they read about their fellow classmates, they learn how to use Canvas and Google Drive here in this first unit, and we're prepping students as best as I can to be prepared for the learning ahead. Starting next week, we will begin Unit 2, Social and Emotional Learning, and you can see the assignments that are coming up. We're going to talk to students about what does good, positive mental and emotional health look like. You can see growth mindset here is coming up, self-esteem, stress is going to be a big part of this unit, coping skills. I feel disorders. So we'll talk about when mental and emotional health is not healthy. What does that titled? What does that look like? And then we're going to finish this unit with one of the most difficult parts of this class, suicide and self-harm. So I feel like it's really important that parents and families are aware that this is coming up within probably the next 2 weeks of classes. So be prepared for that. Once we finish talking about mental and emotional health, the next unit, Unit 3, will be nutrition and fitness. So we can see what's coming up there as I'm scrolling through the types of topics we'll talk about. And then we will end this class with sexual health. So again, talking about sexual orientation, gender, behavior, identity, understanding gender, sexual decision making, planning. And you can see the units that are coming up here as well. Your student may not have access to seeing each of these assignments as they're coming up. I will be unlocking and displaying these assignments in pieces to your student, but you can see what's coming up and you always have access to this video. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, issues that are coming up for you, I'm going to show you one more time before we leave. On the home screen of your student's